the FOMC meeting concluded just hours after US housing starts for August came in less than expected. Joining us from Florida is Shari Olefson, the CEO of the Carnegie Group and author of Foreclosure Nation. Nice to see you again. What impact has this? Clearly, the Fed chairman spoke about the concern about the rise in mortgage rates. What impact has it had?
Well, it's had a long-standing impact because of the uncertainty moving forward. We know that with rates as low as they are, they've got to go up. And every time there's an announcement here, we see hiccups in the market and increases in the past in mortgage rates. In the long term, though, Ross, the thing is that mortgage rates are still historically low, even though they're higher, the highest point in the last 2 years. And of course, mortgage rates are going to impact how much home folks can buy, not necessarily whether or not they can buy a home altogether. And the alternative to buying is still renting, which for many folks is still a less attractive alternative. What's going to have a bigger impact are the new rules that begin next year that address mortgages, new mortgage originations, because those will determine for many folks whether or not they can buy at all. Yeah,
I mean, well, hang on. Could you I'm just getting into that because what are they going to tighten up on loan to values and qualifications, proof of income, that sort of stuff?
Right, right. Now, these new construction numbers actually are reflecting, we see single-family homes builders are building more single-family homes again than multifamily, reflecting some of the pent-up demand that we've had in our market for a long time. But, you know, we're still in an interesting balancing point. We still have fewer household formations, we still have high vacancy rates, and we still have a little bit of a housing hangover that we see, particularly since investors are buying in those hardest-hit states where they think they can make the money, and yet builders are still avoiding those states.
Okay, so we're expecting obviously more housing data on today's agenda in the United States, in addition to the weekly jobless claims out at 8:30 Eastern and the current account, the second quarter current account figures. We've got these August existing home sales out there due at 10 o'clock. Now, sales expected to drop by 2.6% to an annual rate of 5.25 million. How does that compare, historically?
Well, we're in an interesting time right now, and it all has to do with inventory. When the bubble burst, of course, we ended up with 1.5 million extra homes that no one wanted to buy because no one knew where prices were going to bottom. Then eventually prices bottomed, investors got in the market again, and prices have been rising way faster than they should be, not in lockstep with incomes and what average people can really afford because it's been an investor-driven market. Now we're at the point where the ROI on where the prices are right now is not good enough for most investors. A lot of these funds are seeing that the return on what they thought was going to be this great scattered rental housing model is not as high as they thought it was going to be, and we're seeing a lot of dampening in terms of investor interest. So with that, we'll see inventory build again, and prices will probably dip a little bit eventually, but at least soften for now. Prices are not going up as fast as they have been going, and same thing with sales.
Yeah, and just finally, the small builders, the smaller home builders, what are they? They've been sort of out of the market. Are there any signs that they're thinking of coming back in or not?
That's an interesting question because on the front lines, what I see with clients in the real world is these small guys, a lot of them got wiped out when the bubble burst, and they are just now getting back into the game. They're just now being able to borrow again. A lot of those folks worked themselves into positions doing workouts for banks, and they became, distressed real estate people after the bubble burst. That game is over as well, and so we're seeing smaller local builders getting back into the market, which is a wonderful thing because they're very sensitive to what the local market is demanding.
Shari, good to speak this morning. Thanks for joining us from Fort Lauderdale. I know it's nice weather there. Shari Olefson, CEO of the Carnegie Group.